Bonjour. This is a video lesson on VII verbs. VII verbs are verb inanimate intransitive. So it is an action verb, and then it's, can you even see that? Let's pull this closer. And then I have a glare. I apologize. Okay. Here we go. Verb inanimate. So typically talking about an object or a thing that is not considered to be alive. And then intransitive, which means there is no transfer of action from between anything. So these verbs are a lot like adjectives in English. These are state of being verbs. Now, that just means that this item is in the state of being a certain way. For example, in English, we might describe an item as being heavy. Now, you can hear in the sentence, we're saying being or it is. So, for example, 고즈권, 고즈권, in the dictionary, this is the root word, you would find that the definition means it is heavy. So these are always it is statements. Now, to be more technical, 고즈권 just means that whatever object is being described, because you would need a noun in there. So like, what can I describe as heavy? Something inanimate you would have to describe with this. A box. Makak. That is an inanimate noun, so it can be described with this verb because you always have to match the animacy. So if I want to say the box is heavy, I could say 고즈권, makak. You're talking a bit like Yoda here, so it's like it is heavy, the box. Now what we're actually saying is that this box, like, how do I describe this? The heaviness is not the thing. The heaviness is simply the state that the box is existing in. That sounds complicated, but there's a reason that I'm trying to go into this in depth, and that will make more sense when we get to C form a little later. So the box is in the state of being heavy. It may be in the state of being red or light or broken. It is. That's what that is. That is how this box is existing right now. Other things are not always so concrete. You might be describing the state of being that the weather is in. So give me one. It is raining. Give me one. Here we have our it is statement again, raining. So it's a verb because this is the action. It's in the state of being raining. The same with other weather words like Nuden, it is windy, or it's in the state of being windy. The other VII verbs that you may encounter a lot are days of the week, or the state of being that time is in, I guess. So like today is, well, actually, I'm going to go back a little bit. Our word, good. It is a day, or it is a certain day. So right now it is light out, so it is in the state of being day. Gishigad, it is a day. Now we might have it as Nisho Gishigad. Let's say it is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Um, Nisho, it is Tuesday, or the second day. So Nisho Gishigat, it is Tuesday. It is in the state of being Tuesday, or it is in the state of being day 2. That's how that works. So typically, if you've got an it is, you know that you will need a VII verb. Now, these are very simple sentences. So for example, let me share my screen here. Screen. Wish I could split screen somehow. That would be really neat. Anyway, here we go. So days of the week are VII verbs. It is statements. And then we're typically, when talking like Yoda, we're going to have our verb come before our noun. So like the box is red, and you have this imaginary it is in the sentence. The box, it is red. Misqua makak. Or the shoe is small. The shoe, it is small. It is in the state of being small, this shoe. Agasa makazin. The red one is our verb corresponding to its translation here in English. Makazin is the word for shoe. It's in blue. Like the cup is yellow. The cup, it is yellow, is in the state of being yellow. Ozawa minakwajigan. Side note, minakwajigan translates as the drinking vessel. I really like it because it is a universal word for something that you can drink out of. Some places use the word onagats, which is like a tiny bowl, but like minikwe means he or she drinks. Minakwajigan, the thing that you drink out of. So just that. The ball is flat. It is flat. Nabaga bekwakwad, where the egg is blue. Bajawashkwa wawan. See, our color words are VIIs as well. They are, it is in the state of being a certain color. Now over here, I'm waiting for John to come and edit this question or this example here, so I'm going to skip that one. But B form VII verbs occur as dependent clauses and depend on additional information to convey full meaning or understanding. B form VIIs, like other verb types, are typically statements that begin with if, as, when, or on, or at. Like on Wednesday. The word for Wednesday is abituse. It is in the state of being Wednesday, or it is in the middle day. Now we add this G on here, and you will find that in our paradigms, our VII paradigms here. Just as a quick aside, like it ends with a vowel. So the paradigms that you go to, vowel endings, we go down to B form positive, we add a G. We're talking about something singular, we add a G. So abatuse, abatuseg. On Wednesday, I'll bring the book. Inga bidun, I will bring it. Musnega, the book. And then we have here, abatuse, it is Wednesday. There's your translation. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so when we're talking about wean or weanawa, so him, her, they, them. Uh, let's look at our paradigms real quick. Let me come down here. I described this in the VII paradigm tutorial that I posted under the unit how to or how to use ... So here we have for wean. I'm going to go up to A form for wean or for more than one thing associated with wean. And then you have these different like additional endings on here. Switch over. So like, let's read through the explanation and then I'll go a little more into the clarification of it. As a rule, VII verbs describe an inanimate state of being. So how could we be talking about wean and weanawa? For example, I might be trying to lift up something heavy and I could say, gozagwan, it is heavy. Or I could notice that you are trying to lift up something heavy and I might just kind of make an aside observational comment directed at you. Oh, gozagwan, or it's directed at you. You hear it. I'm talking to you about the item. The other thing is I could say gozagwanina. Is it heavy? Directed at you. But if it is someone else that I am observing, I am not communicating to them or at them. If I am saying something, I would be communicating about them. I'm making an observation about the object as it relates to that person. That's when I use this right here, this ending. So like, let's say you and I are in the classroom and we notice that Ween, Joey over there, is trying to lift up a heavy box. And that seems to be my favorite example right now. Um, so I couldn't say gozigwan because that would be a description as it relates to me or you. I have to talk about what he's lifting as it relates to him. And so, since I am not part of that experience and you are not part of that experience, I would say, go to Gwen in. And that's a bit like saying it is heavy for him. I also kind of think about this as if like I'm making an observation about someone. In my mind, in English, I might say, "Oh, that seems heavy." It's kind of vaguely the same idea as the way I understand it. Um, Other people might have different ways of explaining this. But anyway, so if let's say he's trying to lift more than one item, he's got like a whole armload of boxes, and I say, "Oh, yay, those look heavy for him." The for him is implied there. I would say gozigwan inne one. So the inne, gozigwan inne, or yeah, gozigwan inne. It is heavy. Gozigwan inne one, adding that plural on there would make it those or more than one item are heavy for him. So we've got here in this document some examples in a form. My shoe is small. Agasa ne moccasin. Now in purple, I put the possessive. This is my moccasin, my shoe. Agasa, it is small, my shoe. Your shoe is small. Agasa ge moccasin. So all I did was I put you as the possessor. So we're talking about the shoe. It's small for you. The shoe is small for me. But when I'm talking about someone where you and me are not involved in this, it's an observation about someone else that I'm not able to direct the conversation or communication to. That's when I use the we form when I'm talking about it as it relates to him, her, they, them. His shoe is small. Agasan ne umakazin. It's like saying, oh, that shoe is small for him. Now, if we have plurals here, my shoes are small. Now I still got my plural on here. The only difference is, like, I've got more than one shoe, so mukkasin none. And since I have more than one shoe, and more than one of the shoes are small, agasa one. I add the plural. Now these are all in that paradigms document that you can see. And it's linked right here for you to click on and follow along with it if you need to. If I'm saying your shoes are small, like, oh, I direct that comment at you, oh, your shoes are small. Agasa one, get mukkas and none. We've got the you for your possessive. We've got the plural on here, and then we have a plural agreement on the verb. Now, if I'm observing someone else, I'm like, oh, his shoes are small. They look small for him, or they are small for him. Maybe I'm telling you about my son who insists on wearing his Power Ranger shoes that are too small now or something. I might say, oh, gasana one no makazinan. His shoes, they're small for him. The O makes it a plural for him or her. His shoe, plural, his shoes. Gasana one. It is small for him. Gasane one. They are small for him. So that's how that works. Now it does work for B form, though there's no plural form in B form. And it's the same regardless of whether it's singular or plural. It doesn't matter. You'll just pluralize whatever like the object is if that applies. And it applies to state of being like weather or days of the week, for example. So like I went outside in the rain. Ingi ija, I went agwajing outside. Gimme wong in the rain. That G on the end is something called a locative, and that puts me like in the rain. It usually means in, on, or at. You went outside in the rain. Gigi isha, you went akwajing outside. Gimme wong with that locative on the end makes it in the rain. Now the dog we're talking about, Nimush, he went outside in the rain. It's kind of like saying he went outside where it was raining for him. It sounds funky in English, but Animush, the dog, Gi Isha, he went Gujing outside. Give me one inig. This inig is the B form for ween version. I'll show you over here. Nig for ween. Yeah, give me one in nig for ween. B form positive. He went outside in the rain. Now this is where the bringing up the emphasis in the beginning of like, it is in the state of being this way, it is important. So this might sound kind of difficult at first or complicated, and it took me a while to catch on. Sometimes I still make mistakes, but you know, we're all learners, so that's all right. Just make sure, you know, the main thing is to make sure that you're understood and to convey meaning. So yeah, I really like this now. At first it was confusing, but now I think it is the coolest thing and I have a lot of fun with it. So in the dictionary, typically the root word version in A form is only used in very simple sentences where its main job is to describe the object. So like in that example, the box is heavy. The box, it is heavy. I am making an observation to myself or to you about this box existing in a heavy state of being. Now, it seems that if the emphasis is not on the description of the object, but on something else instead in the sentence, then we shift attention by using C form. So C form, remember, is initial vowel change. So the first vowel in the word or time tense because that then it becomes hyphenated. It's like gi goes one, it was heavy. Then that gi is attached to the verb, and that becomes the first vowel. Anyway, the first vowel changes according to this, plain to changed. And then you put a B form ending onto the verb. So note that VIIs are describing objects. So if more than one is described, plural, in C form, we add a plural suffix after the B form ending, which is in, I-N, right here. The difference between the book is read, or, well, this is the difference between the book is read and the read book. So the book is read, it is read, is describing the state of being that that book is in. It is a verb, it is an action. That book is being read. But when I shift over to the read book, now read has become part of the book, making it a noun. So C form turns this into a noun. It's called participle form. So meesquag misneugen, the read book. This is like, see up here, misqua misneugen, the book is read. It's existing as read. We take that first I over here and we apply initial vowel change. I becomes E, so it goes from misqua to meesqua, and then we put on a B form ending, which is in your paradigms over here, B form. You add a G to the end, and so it becomes meesquag masnegen, the read book. You see, the one is focused on describing the object, the book is read, while the other is focused on the object itself as a noun. And so, like, here's an example sentence. Put the read book on the table. We would use C form because it would be really clunky to say, put the book that is in the state of being read on the table. Like it just, we can nounify that book that's in the state of being read to become the read book, and you can put it on the table. So a tune, put it, me squagmas negan, the read book, a dupuin ing, on the table. So here's another option, example. I couldn't find the book, so he said, it's the read book. In that case, we would say, Ingi Puanawitun, I was not able, Jif Mikuman, to find Maznagan, the book. Ga Iji Kidod, and so he said, Mi ewe Maznagan me squag. Now in this case, we switched the verb and the noun, or the verb and the, we put the book before the me squag. It's one of those, like, it just sounds better that way. Mioe Masnagan me squag. It's the read book. Don't worry too much about that word order thing in that case. Every now and then it's different. It seems like the C form points to a specific object by such a description, whereas the A form is simply noticing a certain attribute about the object. So like, I want to wear my black shirt would use C form. A form would be clunky, more like, I want to wear my shirt that is the black color, that is in the state of being black. But I want to wear my black shirt. It points to that object by that description, and the point is different. Whereas like the point of a sentence that uses the A form, like the shirt is in the state of being red, or this black, the purpose of that sentence, the subject, is the shirt, and the adjective or the color of the shirt is the description of the shirt. But now, when you want to make that sentence a little more complex and you're like, I want to wear my black shirt, The emphasis isn't on the description of the black shirt. The emphasis is on like I want to wear something. And I'm just mentioning that it's the black shirt. But now that shirt is a noun. Um, it's just practice is going to make this easier, really. Another thing is like in the dictionary, gakaka is a verb, a VII verb, meaning it is square. It describes something that is shaped as a square. But if we're talking about the shape itself as an object, like then you'd use C form. This one took me a while to figure out and to understand, but I'm gonna give a more of an example here. Shapes are a good option. So let me pull up list of shapes. Um, all right, so let's see. Gakaka, gakaka, gakaka. It is square. This is describing items that are square, like the box is square, the earring is square, the eraser is square, you know. But in kindergarten or in preschool, they're learning shapes as a noun themselves. So like you're looking at this on a piece of paper and you're asking them to identify it. Now, if they have to identify it as an object, it's a noun. And so this is not gakaka. Well, I mean, it is. It's in the shape of being square. But as a square itself, it is a square. Then we use C form. So C form, I'm going to write my verb, ga, ka, ka. C form changes the initial vowel, which is A, into, well, you would look at that chart. If you don't have it memorized, A becomes an E, ge, ka, ka, and then you add your B form ending, ge, ka, kag. It is a square. So, and the same applies with all of the other shapes. Now, this is also why we, like if the kids are playing with square-shaped blocks, so they've got all of these blocks that are all squares, we're not gonna call them the kakaoin. Like they are squares. Like they are square shaped, they're square shaped. It's if it is an object and that object is nothing but a square, it is a noun object. It's not something that is like it's not a pillow that's square or a box that's square that you can open. It is just a block. A block is the noun that is square. So a block that the kids are playing with, it's ge, ka, kag, and you want more than one, ge, ka, kagen. So they want to play with their blocks. You would say you're making a comment. They want to play with the blocks. We odamin odaminandan. Oh my. Excuse me, I've had a mind blank. Give me a second here. It was overthinking and odaminwaden. Odamin wa. Wadamen wadan. That's he or she wants to play with it. So wadamen wadanen, he or she wants to play with those. One thing. Wadamen wadan awa, they want to play with it. This is from the VTI lesson. So wadamen wadan wadanawa, they want to play with it, a single object. So then you need your plural marker here. Wio damen wadanawan, they want to play with them. Gekakag. Again, they want to play with the blocks. Now, I know I was getting a little redundant here with me, like, it is the state of being versus it is a noun. It just, when in doubt, use the C form. Really, that's like, if you're doing more than just describing an object, like if you're just doing more than just describing something the way you would describe it in the game I Spy, just use C form. Or unless it needs to be in the B form, but like C form is almost more prevalent than A form, I would say. And let me see if there's anything else left to this that I wanted to go over with you. Let's see here. Oh, and I'm in the oh yeah, in the dictionary. Yeah, again, Geikakagen, gakaka. Once again, like once it has become a noun, like geikakagen, then you can use VTI verbs with it and describe how a human or a person or an animate being is interacting with this new object that is being described a certain way. So we're going to jump back over to here. We have some practice in here, and there's an answer key at the end. So what I would love for you to do is try to translate these. Remember to attempt to talk like Yoda. And then also up here we've got a template. VII plus noun. The book is read. Misqua, masnagan, verb, and then noun. For C form, we've got noun, like the noun item, and then the C form VII, also called the participle, so the noun version of the item. The red book, masnagan, the noun. Maysquag, the noun version of the descriptor. So anyway, again, you can always scroll to the bottom and check your answers down here. I think I put extra space. I need to somehow put an arrow in there or something. Anyway, thank you again for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, post in the class, let me know. And I would love to get a Facebook group started for teachers to interact with each other or post questions or whatnot. I attempted to do that, but the invite link would expire like every 48 hours, and I kept posting it, and yeah, so we'll collaborate on that at some point. But anyway, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And I'll see you next time.